Good morning, stylist from the back room. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, John.
Hi, Karn.
Morning.
How's everybody this morning?
Good. We're good. We're good.
Nice. So today we're going to be talking about certified organic hair color and how it's making salons richer than ever.
Okay.
So we got some revolutionary we got some misconceptions about this organic color, and we got like the new like reality of it, and we got some like numbers and all that to go over.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
All right.
So then what are we going over? Then let's get right into it. What are we going over first?
Okay, so let's go over some of the like common misconceptions about the certified organic color. Like when it first, like remember when it first came out, like why didn't it work so good? And then like now it's like, wow, everybody wants it.
Well, go ahead, Eddie. I'll let you start.
You want me to start it? All right. I mean, organic, it's wild. You think about it now. It's such a commonplace thing. But although it's such a commonplace, I don't know how to answer your question. Although it's such a commonplace thing nowadays, there's still a segment of the population that don't believe in it or can't get behind it. And I think it stems from it did have a very, very rocky start. It was like an ugly duckling that turned into a swan later on.
Yeah, I like that analogy. That's a good analogy.
That's
It
fair.
was no, but it was rough when it first came out. It had a really, really rough start when it first came out, as does a lot of things though in their 1.0 iteration, you know?
Right. I think that also when you say organic, what was earlier organic hair color? What was the one hair color? Henna. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And with henna, you had two choices with henna. It turned orange, and the only way to get it out of the hair was to cut it out, right? You couldn't strip true henna out of the hair because
Wow.
You had orange or you had black. Those were your two choices.
Yeah, those were, and usually it was black on the ends and orange at the roots.
Ooh. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's like, oh, I don't want that.
No. So with that being said, immediately you say organic, immediately people's heads just go right to henna, and henna's bad, and and especially if you took bleach over henna, old school bleach, not the lighteners we have. You took old school bleach over the hennas and put it over henna, and if you put it in a foil, what was the temperature of that foil?
Over 9,000.
You could fry an egg on that foil.
Come on.
Seriously. So yeah, that was one of the earlier misconceptions. Also, then comes with immediately, well, organic color doesn't cover gray, right?
Like it's less vibrant or something.
Right, exactly. And I think that the earlier iterations, you had to massage it. You had to know the animal you were working with and the timing. Because with the earlier organic colors, you had to go with a longer time, processing time compared to, your standard, run of the mill hair color, because, what's the standard time, Eddie? 30 minutes? 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, of course. Don't you know?
Everything's 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes, and you don't go over 20 volume.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the early misconceptions, some of them were warranted, though. I'm not going to lie. There were a couple of early on organic hair colors that were, unless you massage them and it was the perfect situation, there were off colors, there were off, and that goes into formulation and things like that, which I think we're going to get into in a little bit. But I definitely think there were big misconceptions of it's henna or that doesn't work. That doesn't cover
work.
gray.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. Which is yours and my favorite. That color line doesn't work. They didn't spend millions of dollars developing it, not at all. They just threw some crap in a tube and think, and you just spin around twice, face the east, and then it works. So no, yeah, I'm down. I get that. I get that.
What are we doing? Are we going through more myths? Are we going through all the myths?
Go for it.
We can go to like, was this just a trend kind of thing?
Oh, a lot of people. That's a good one. A lot of people did think it was just a trend and it wasn't going to stick, so they didn't even bother looking into it. They didn't bother advertising it that much. It was just a trend. It was only for the hippies. It was only for the people that are allergic to air. It was really, really written off as, if you're asking for organic color, you're one of those people.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, who the hell are those people? It's like, those people. And you're like, I don't want to be one of those. Like, nobody knew what the hell one of those was.
Right.
But nobody wanted to be that, whatever the hell that was. It was, oh my God. It was the connotation behind organic.
Wow.
The way it was introduced was so goofy. It was really introduced to the market. It wasn't introduced to the market as a solution at all. It wasn't even introduced to the market as an option. It was introduced as, here it is. It's a thing. And if you don't know, and if you don't get behind it, you're a piece of crap. And it was like, it came out with all the best intentions of the world, but it was kind of too hard, too in your face about it. And it turned people off. It really did turn people off. And so people dismissed it. It's just trending right now. Everybody's just getting into the in thing and trying to be
right.
Edgy or whatever,
Right. And that goes along the whole organic thing. Just the whole organic capsule. I remember when Whole Foods opened up. And people are like, oh, why are you going to go shopping there? The prices and blah, 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 blah.
It was called Whole Food. Do you remember what we used to call it, though?
Whole Paycheck Foods?
I don't remember.
No, he just said it.
Okay.
Whole Paycheck Foods. Oh, my God. And look, and literally, there's a Whole Foods right over here, and that parking lot is packed all the time.
Yeah.
But earlier, going back and not going back, but really the early iterations of organic hair color, like you were talking about, those people, it was, everybody just pictured, a bunch of people in sandals and those freaking drug rug jackets, coloring each other's hair and then dreadlocking it because they're all dirty hippies, right? And then, hey, I'm guilty. I remember I was given a organic hair color. It was handed to me in a little plastic thing. There was a couple of tubes. I looked at it and went, oh, great. And I put it up on my shelf, and I didn't really mess with it until about 4 or 5 months later. I looked up and I went, oh, that color's up there. Let me see. I was just curious. Let's see what this does. And it blew my mind. But, we'll get it once again. That's doing a little foreshadowing on that.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I got the question where, like, probably sometimes people, like, had a misconception of, like, oh, clients won't pay that.
That
was the whole. Think about that.
That was the whole thing with premium pricing and premium services and premium. Everything was a premium, and and a lot of clients, you got to understand, at the time, people were just like, well, okay, you have this premium service. That sounds interesting. What does it do? Well, it does the same thing what it currently does, but it's better. How's it better? Well, it's organic. Well, what does that mean? Well, it's healthier. why is that better? Well, because it's healthier. What, don't you want to be healthy? It's like, well, I really don't care. Do I need to be healthier? Am I sick? Is something wrong with me? And it's like, well, no. It's like, so the crap you've been using on me before this has been crap? It's like, no, it's not crap. What I've been using on you is very professional. It's very good stuff, but this is better than what I've been using on. Yeah, now that I say that out loud. Yeah, good, right?
Yeah.
It's gooder.
Well, the stuff that you've been using on me so far works. Yeah, it does. Will it continue to work? Yes, it will.
Yeah.
So why am I paying $10, $15, $20 more for this? Because good is gooder. It's like, no, it's okay. Maybe next time. And it's like, that was the kiss of death to hear that, you know?
Yeah.
And so the whole thing, how we were trained to talk about it, introduce it to the clientele, the whole positioning was such a cluster, was such a foobar.
Wow, yeah.
That it really saying it out. I mean, even saying it out loud now, the whole script from back then just makes me cringe in such a way of like, wow, I can't believe I'm repeating. This is literally what we used to tell people 20 years ago, you know?
Wow.
We were trained and taught to say to people. It sounded so much better in class.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. How do you approach it now with clients?
Oh, so much differently now.
Walk me through it.
We'll walk you through how we do it now.
How do you got a client sitting in your chair and you and I use the same color line.
Yeah.
Okay. We, how do you introduce that color line to this client and let them know what are the differences that you give the talking points that you give them in comparison to the other color line maybe they were using somewhere else.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. Nowadays, the conversation's completely different. Nowadays, I don't even present it as an option anymore. That's just what we're doing. It's our standard default. This is what we're doing. Right. And this is what I charge. I don't have this price and that price, and you have the choice to use this color line or that color line. We're just doing this. This is how much it costs. Well, I never heard of that brand. Well, I'm surprised that you actually haven't heard of this brand. It's one of the most certified organic based color lines on the market. I said, but that's okay. I understand. It's let me show you how this is going to improve the health of your hair. This is I'm going to let you experience how you're not going to have the sensitivity on your scalp. Like, did they used to give you a coffee stir, or did they used to give you a brush to scratch your head? Like, yeah, you're not even going to need one of those.
Right.
Really? I'm like, oh yeah, watch. This is going to be fun as hell. Like, it's just the whole conversation is so matter of fact now. Right. It's not even a matter of a question of can we do this or can we not do this? It's just going to be a conditioner treatment on your hair while it's covering up the grays.
Right.
Okay.
You're getting a 2-for-1, you're getting a twofer. And it's like, oh, and if you because the conversation is so matter of fact, whatever the consultation is with the client, that it's unquestionable because you're stating it with such authority. Right. That they have no other choice but to take or leave what you're saying. There's no decision to make. And they actually appreciate that because you're not asking them what they want. You're telling them, this is what your hair needs. This is how it's going to help your hair. And this is how I'm going to get you exactly what you're asking for. And I got you. Just sit down, relax. What you want? You want you want something to drink? You want me to fix you up a cup of something? And that's the only decision you have to make. Do you want me to fix you up a cup of something, or I'm going to go back there and mix? Do you want to go to the bathroom now, or you want to wait till I get done applying you? Because freaking people need to pee as soon as you come back with the bowl and you're ready to start applying.
It's true.
So you either go now or you wait till I'm done applying. Do not freaking get up as soon as I get back with a fresh mixed bowl. I hate that.
I gotcha.
I mean, one of the things that I touch on them though is they are going to notice the difference, the way their hair feels after their color.
That's
Um,
true. I see that a lot.
and really with the organic, you know, that, and also I also touch on the fact that there are no petroleum products in this color, which is really going to make your hair feel the texture and just the play in your hair is going to be so much different than the highly chemical color that you've been using, where your hair has felt stiff and stuff afterwards. Those are
Yeah.
some of the things I touch on. And just to give, just to back up everything that I said too, and usually what I do is when I get them up out of the shampoo bowl, especially with using organic color on them, I give them a comb through your hair.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Normally my hair is like a bottle brush after I get my color. It takes about a week for it to calm down,
Oh, yeah.
And then also they, and immediately, because they know it's organic color, immediately they go to the mirror and they start doing this, because what we were talking about earlier is the rub on organic color is it doesn't cover. And they're like, wow. So yeah.
I got you. And then also, another misconception is probably those limited formulation options, like limited
you had
options.
black, you had orange. Later
Wow.
on, they came out with a brown, but it was like a poo brown color.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a rusty brown. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they had this rust red, or like this copper red that wasn't copper, nor was it red. I don't know what it was.
Wow.
And they called it Auburn. They called it Auburn.
And the only way to get it to work was you would have to double process the client's head, get them blonde, and then put this Auburn color over it, and then it would turn neon-y, like a neon orangey.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was bad.
Almost reddish. It was chaos.
Wow, so it's come a long way. Now you can formulate all these beautiful different shades of colors.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them. It's like, oh, I want this one. No, I want that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in the beginning, back in the dark ages, man, it was rough. It was a really rough go in the very beginning.
It was. Okay. It was.
And was there any fears of change or losing clients because of that?
Oh, absolutely.
100%. Look, that's another problem too. We used to book on 30 minutes, and then we would double book. And if you had assistants, you'd book on the 15-minute block. And then if you had enough assistants, you would double book on the 15-minute block.
Whoa.
So you want to, you'd have 4 clients an hour, and then you'd be double booking on top of that. You would, at any given time back then, I would have 6, 7 clients every hour. It was insane. And those were the days where we'd be putting in 12, 14-hour day minimum. Sometimes we'd be working 16-hour days. 14
you just picked in my PTSD. Thanks, Eddie.
Dude, you remember those days, man? We were freaking packed. We never moved. We had the assistant bringing us formulas. We had the assistant bringing us the next client. We had assistant, you might as well have just strapped us into the one spot we stood in
and stay there.
It was insane. It was insane. Wow. We had so much fun. The clients loved us.